Kara and Nate. We've spent the last 4 years traveling full-time pursuing our goal of visiting 100 countries. And like many of you, COVID-19 has completely changed our day-to-day life. We are now back in our hometown of Nashville, Tennessee, where we're self-quarantining in a cabin in the woods. After traveling to our 100th country last December, we didn't take very much time to reflect before heading off on our next trip.
Antarctica.
And honestly, majority of the time, the last 4 years feel like a complete blur. So now that we're stuck at home, we thought it would be fun to reflect on some of our favorite adventures from the last 4 years.
Starting with the most unique accommodations that we have stayed in around the world. Before we get started, we wanted to say a big thank you to DJI for sponsoring this video. One of the best things about getting back to the US was being able to get our hands on the DJI Mavic Mini. Sometimes the only way to truly appreciate a place is to see it from above. And the only drones that we have ever owned have been part of the Mavic series. We got the original Mavic Pro back in 2017. Then we upgraded to the Mavic 2.
Wow, look at that.
Wow.
This could be the first Kara and Nate unboxing video.
Which is what the majority of the footage that you're gonna see in this video was shot on. Up to this point, in my opinion, the Mavic 2 has been the best drone for travelers because it's the perfect combination of packability and quality. But now this thing feels huge next to the Mini. It only weighs 249 grams and it's similar to the size of a smartphone. You are gonna sacrifice some range and some image quality compared to the Mavic Pro, but for a third the price, you can get this super portable and easy to use drone with 30 minutes of flight time without sacrificing very much quality. The 3-axis gimbal makes for super smooth shots, and the 2.7K camera shoots beautiful HD video. And it's just a ton of fun to fly. All right, in no particular order, these are the most unique accommodations that we have stayed in over the last 4 years. Now, this is just gonna be a quick highlight of each experience. If you wanna see the full thing, we'll leave a link to the videos in the description below.
Starting off with a good one, after we visited Machu Picchu, we slept in these glass pods bolted to the side of a mountain. Can't believe we're actually doing this. The only way to get to our beds for the night was to climb up the side of this mountain.
This is the greatest thing I've ever done.
And after waking up to incredible views of the Sacred Valley, we made our way back down to the valley floor via a series of zip lines. Bye, Nate! Let's go!
Not only was this overwater villa in the Maldives one of the most unique places we've ever stayed.
Wow, 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 wow.
It was also the most expensive, costing over $1,500 a night. Woo! You better believe we made the most of our one short night in this overwater paradise. Some places look better on the internet than they are in real life. This place was every bit as incredible as it looks.
And more. We feel super grateful to have had the opportunity to stay at this tiny home in the mountains of Switzerland. This is insane! Because it only existed for a few short months. Woo! The project was dreamed up and designed by the brand On Running, and we were lucky enough to be invited to spend the night there before they disassembled it and flew it out of the mountains with a helicopter.
To this day, the Bolivian salt flats are the most mind-blowing place we have ever seen with our own 2 eyes. If you visit during the right time of the year, the water sits on top of the salt and you can drive across the world's largest mirror.
This is incredible!
Before staying the night at a hotel completely made of salt.
The only way to get to these tiny homes located in the Norwegian fjords is to hike in.
This place is absolutely incredible.
The accommodations themselves are simple with incredible views.
No way, this is too good.
But the real gem is the sauna perched on the edge of the lake. Spending the rest of the night in the sauna.
Nice.
It's so cool.
Ah, this feels so good.
But I did not swim in.
It's time. Go here.
I watched Nate swim in there.
Ah, my feet hurt so bad.
Up we go.
This is awesome.
It's traditional in Vanuatu for the tribes to build tree houses in the giant banyan trees found on the islands. And recently, some enterprising locals have started building and renting out tree houses on Airbnb.
Oh my gosh.
By far, the best part about this treehouse was the front porch, where we hung out both night and day with unobstructed views of the island's active volcano.
Keyword, active.
Is that normal?
Yeah, that's a normal.
That was... Did we really do that?
Whoa.
It's alive.
That's what we're, like, the last 4 years is just
Like, I'm thinking
a
back to
jumbled
that.
mess. And then I see thumbnails on the internet, and I'm like, that was us.
All right, in case we lose it forever, it was in an effort to capture the volcano. Oh yeah.
All right, moving on. We recently had the opportunity to visit our 7th continent of Antarctica. We traveled there on a cruise, but one night we got to disembark the ship and sleep outside with nothing but sleeping bags and boobies.
And that is home for the night. 5:04. Good morning.
Morning.
How'd you sleep?
Good.
Yeah. Okay, goodbye.
We hiked 4 hours straight up a mountain to get to this remote monastery.
So you came all the way from down.
No wonder we're so tired.
The head monk was a friend of a friend to our tour guide, and we were invited to sleep on the floor in the guest house.
This is our home for the night.
It was one of the most authentic experiences that we've had in all 4 years of travel.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
This was not something that was created for tourists.
Game night! No! Parked beside the airport in Stockholm, Sweden is a 747 that's been converted into a hotel.
Oh, it's got the windows and everything. Man, if you'll put your carry-on in the overhead bin.
Oh, I just want to touch the exit door.
It's the stuff you can never play with.
We slept in one of the rooms located in economy, but before we left, we had the opportunity to play around in the cockpit suite. I never thought I would be in a pilot seat of a 747, pulling levers and pressing buttons. This treeless treehouse in rural Norway is 2 hours north of Oslo.
First gal.
It was the perfect place to get away from everything and spend a romantic evening by the fire together.
Cook me that delicious
With
salmon.
really good food, right?
It's nice and crispy on the inside. They have to give Norwegian salmon another chance in the restaurant. It was already cooked. It didn't need to be cooked. We didn't know that because we couldn't read the packaging.
And then I burned it.
Didn't matter.
All the leaves were changing. It was so perfect.
I just really feel like we can't capture or explain this moment.
We've stayed in 2 capsule hotels, one in Japan and one in Thailand.
I feel like I'm in a spaceship.
It was 2 very different experiences, but both of them were very memorable.
Memorable's a good word for it.
Good night.
This is home for the night.
The Monte Rosa mountain hut is tucked away high in the Swiss mountains, and the only way to get there is by crossing over a glacier. We had been given outdated information that it was going to be 10 short minutes over the glacier, but a new path had been established and we spent over an hour navigating our way over the crevasse-filled glacier.
Good work. Big jump. 1, 2, 3.
And it got even more interesting the next morning when we got caught in a storm while going back over the glacier.
We're just surrounded on all sides by crevasses.
Not our best decision.
We were in way over our heads. Probably the scariest moment of all 4 years of travel.
I had to take a deep breath just thinking about it.
So we just spent the last 2 hours naked and separated.
Okay, so in South Korea, they have spas called jjimjilbang. What is this place?
We have no clue what's going on or what the rest of the night or the next 5 hours is gonna be.
I love Korea. It's burning me. I think this is what you're supposed to do. And after taking part in the different spa treatments available, its culture is to spend the night at the spa. I don't know if it's traditional to sleep on the floor with these rock-hard square pillows, but that was our experience.
Somehow she managed to fall asleep on the tile. Hey, you gotta go. The Martian, Star Wars, and many other space movies were filmed in Wadi Rum because it looks like another planet.
This is our home for the night.
And staying in one of these domes is probably the closest we'll ever get to spending the night on Mars.
Last but not least is the location for our coldest night of sleep. Crazy. Yes, it was even colder than Antarctica. Nice and cozy. This cabin in Finland was made completely of ice.
How are you gonna drink your hot chocolate like that?
Please, just dump it on my face. Our sleeping bags and the reindeer hide are the only things that insulated us from the ice block bed that we slept on top of. So they actually give you a regular hotel room in case you can't make it all the way through the night. But surprisingly, we slept pretty well.
Hello in there.
Yes, I was very proud of myself.
How'd you sleep?
Pretty good.
And that does it for the 15 most unique places we have ever slept. The last 4 years have been absolutely crazy. But before we end this video, we want to say one more thank you to DJI. I've been super impressed with the incredible features that DJI has been able to pack into such a small machine. And while this drone won't necessarily replace the Mavic 2 for us, it is a tool that we'll definitely be using in the future. I can say without a doubt that the Mavic Mini is the best drone for beginners. It's super affordable, it's really easy to learn how to fly, and it's great for capturing content for social media. If you want to learn more about becoming the owner of one of these, be sure to check out the link in the description below.
See me race it?
Yeah. Definitely the drone.
It's in sport mode.
On your mark, get set, go! Go! And the drone wins!
I'm faster off the gun though. It's definitely faster.
I need a log flat road to properly race it. I think quarantine's getting to me. I'm gonna sleep with this in my sleeping bag so the battery doesn't die. It's gonna be very comfortable. Instead of cuddling with you tonight, I'm cuddling with the camera. Good night.
You're cheating on me with the Sony. You're scared of the camera. Oh, so funny.
This could be a terrible idea.
There it goes! There it goes!
Wow!
This looks incredible!